Now we move to the only dars for this morning, and that's going to be done by Dr. Sanni Sahib. Dr. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. And one of his signs is that he has created wives for you from among yourself, that you may find peace of mind in them. And he has put love and tenderness between you. In that surely are signs for people who reflect. Quran 30, verse 22. Respected Amir Sahib, respected attendee of Jalsa Salana, once again I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This morning, together, we shall be looking at the topic, Essence of Love and Mercy in Matrimonial Homes. Love and mercy are great characteristics in human endeavor and relationship. They serve as the bedrock of friendship, companionship, and togetherness. These beauty qualities are dominant in Allah and radiates to us as human. While Allah shows His creations these qualities without restraint, He expects and admonishes us to radiate same in our day-to-day dealings with our fellow humans. Even to animals, a man should not be found wanting of these qualities, not to talk of fellow humans, and importantly, those whom we were bounded and share common ideology. Love is the quality of an intense feeling of affection or deep connection with a person or thing, while mercy, on the other hand, means compassion, forbearance, and disposition to be forgiving. Therefore, while love makes it somehow difficult to see the negatives or mistake of those whom we express such to, due to the deep connection and affection we have with them, mercy, on the other hand, makes us to forgive them, even when such individuals commit apparent mistakes and show remorse. Matrimony is the state of being married, and marriage is the formally recognized union of two peoples as partners in a relationship. In Islam, marriage is a compulsory act of union. It is expected that a Muslim male or a matured Muslim female seek to engage in this blessed act when the means are available. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in one of his hadiths that marriage is my precept and practice, and those who do not follow my practice are not of me. To further show the importance of the institution of marriage and how valuable it is in Islam, as that Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam further stated that when a man has married, he has completed one half of his religion. And in other hadiths, he also said that, "Oh young people, whoever among you can marry should marry, because it helps him lower his gaze and guard his modesty, that is, his private part from illegal conjugal act. And whoever is not able to marry should fast, as fasting diminishes his sexual power." The above mentioned hadiths show the great relationship between marriage and faith, and bring it to consciousness of Muslims that marriage and matrimony should not be viewed as ordinary union, but one which perfects a Muslim faith and in which half of our religion is based. Therefore, activities within the marriage and in our matrimony homes constitute a chunk of our belief and worship. As stated in the earlier verse mentioned, when marriage is done on the basis of Islam, it is expected to bring tranquility, love, affection, and mercy to both parties. Through this, each partner's faith is strengthened and religion flourishes. In homes where this essence of marriage are lacking, evil source and faith is affected. While, as that promised Messiah was discussing the essence of marriage, he guided us by saying thus: the relationship between husband and wife should be as between true and sincere friends. He also stated further that he said this because it is in true friendship that love, mercy, and tranquility lies. He said further that one of the purposes of marriage is that a religious servant of God may be born who may remember him. The second purpose is that husband and wife may safeguard themselves to each other against improper look and misconduct. The third purpose is that mutual love develop between them, safeguarding them against the distress of loneliness. All this is set out in the Holy Quran, as stated this was stated in Kashma al-Marifat, Ruan Kazani, volume 23, page 292 to 293. Dear brethren, the question we should ask ourselves today is how well we are faring in our marriages. Do we love our spouse and ready to show them mercy? Do we see our marriages as a way of perfecting our religion and getting higher reward from Allah? As we ruminate over this, recent happenings in many homes have shown that some substantial members are falling short of these expectations. Rather than marriage being an act of togetherness and sacrifice, individuals are now becoming selfish, thinking about themselves and their gains alone, while neglecting the concern of other partners. While the husbands are greatly neglecting their duties and responsibilities, the wives won't mind to destroy the home she is commanded to safeguard. One happiness does not favor her. Allah says in the Holy Quran, chapter 4, verse 35, that men are guidance over women, because Allah has made some of them excel others, and because they, men, spend of their wealth. So virtuous women are those who are obedient and guide the secret of their husband with Allah's protection. And for those on whom part you fear disobedience, admonish them and leave them alone in their beds, and chastise them. Then, if they obey you, seek not a way against them. Surely Allah is high, the great. The above verse of the Holy Quran establishes the responsibility of men to their wives, and it also states the responsibilities of their wives. Alas, many today read this verse without pondering over them. Men's superiority over women is in terms of the responsibilities and duties Allah has bestowed on them. The promised Messiah states that the husband is the guardian and benefactor of the wife and is responsible for her comfort. He is a master and benefactor. He has been bestowed a stronger faculty than wife. Since the beginning of the world, man has ruled over women, and the standard of faculties granted to women is not as high as that granted to man. And Tasma Ruhani Kazani, volume 23, page 276 to 291. The verse of the Holy Quran and the statement of the promised Messiah alayhi salam show that the role of husband is to provide for the family, guide the family, guard the family, comfort his wife, while he is also expected to have a higher faculty and reasoning to manage his home. However, experiences have shown that many men nowadays are beginning to show that they have no faculty and are undeserving to be a man and a husband. Many men now fight their wife on mundane issues and are found to fall short in exhibiting the mental superiority over their wives. Men now maltreat their wives and seek for divorce on frivolous excuses, and one begin to wonder where lay the love and mercy. And for Muslims, where lay love, mercy, and faith if truly we marry for the sake of Allah and if we actually remember the essence of marriage? The supposed leader of the home are now turning to destroyers of home without remorse. The promised Messiah, alayhi remind us in his Mahfuza, volume 4, that if a man's relationship with his wife is not good, it is not possible that he should be at peace with God. Furthermore, as the Caliphat Masih 1, Rahimahullah, states that Allah the Almighty advised men through numerous ways to treat wives kindly, and men should always keep this in mind. Wives have the responsibility of being obedient to their husband, guide their chastity, and protect their home. Many women of nowadays are beginning to drift away from this. In fact, this occurrence is terrifying and increasing day by day. Today, cases of disrespect to husband, neglecting household responsibilities, unguarded relationship with opposite gender, and unfaithfulness are being found among many women. These characteristics are being worsened with uncontrolled access to social media and modernization. In an attempt to claim equality with men, many are going outside the boundaries of culture and God. However, as Ahmadi Muslims, we are by Allah's grace protected from all these evils. Admonishing the women, the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, informed that even the wives of the prophet perform their duties and responsibilities while not neglecting their spirituality. He said, no one can claim a higher status than the wives of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. Yet, they perform all their domestic tasks and sweep their chambers. With all that, they were diligent in worship. One of them has suspended a rope from the ceiling to hold on to stay awake during prayers. A part of the worship for a woman is to discharge her duty to her husband, and part of it is to express her gratitude to God. Mahfuza, volume 6, page 53, Islamic Teaching of Ideal Home, Ideal Family Life, page 36. Many women are beginning to derail from their responsibility as wives and mothers due to socialization and so-called woman liberation. Women should be reminded of the saying of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which state that if a woman does not perform her duty as a spouse, she has not done her duty to Allah. And also, any woman who dies while her husband is pleased with her enters paradise. As that AMJN, Rahimahullah, the only consort of the promised Messiah, advised Ahmadi women in the following words: never do a thing keeping in secret from your husband. Never do anything that you feel the need to hide from your husband. Even if the husband may not be observing, but God does see you, and the wife loses her respect when the matter is disclosed at the end. If a thing is done against his wishes, never try to hide it. Inform him clearly, as that is the way to retain respect. To hide it leads to disgrace and disrespect. Islamic Teaching on Ideal Family Life, page 37. One of the issues that have caused affections in many homes and has exposed partners' lack of love and mercy in their matrimony is the issue of polygamy. While Allah granted husband the opportunity to take more than one wife in the Holy Quran chapter 4 verse 4, he attached great conditions and responsibility on such men dwelling into it. In enjoying this grace of Allah, some men have ventured into it with lack of love and compassion to their wives and family. Many maltreat their wives, neglect them, and abandon them in the process, which is against Allah's guidance. To protect Ahmadi men from failing in this regard, the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, remind us saying, remember it well, that the actual will of God is that you should not be entirely overcome by lustfulness, and that to perfect your taqwa, righteousness. If a genuine need arises, marry again. The real basis of marrying a second time is taqwa. Thus, to marry again is permissible. However, all those who wish to marry a second time need to assess whether they are doing so based on taqwa or merely out of their lustful desires. If others said, remember that one who marries small wives purely out of sensual and carnal desire is distant from the true essence of Islam. It is a sign of one's ruin. If in every day that rises and night that falls, he does not face difficulty and suffering and is not ready to take any pain and just want a rosy life and weep little or none and laugh more. Friday Sermon, 3rd March 2017. The essence of polygamy is to attain righteousness, prevent immorality among the believers, and help faith. Therefore, in the situation of the world today, where there are many single girls and few single boys ready for marriage, increasing number of divorcees, and many widows, willing and capable men can practice polygamy to safeguard women. In our Jamaat, where such situation exists, men can marry such ladies to give them life partnership and prevent them from marrying outside the Jamaat and thus losing them. However, in doing so, love, compassion, and mercy must be shown to all the wives. On the part of the women, many do not mind to bring down their homes, destroy their husband, carry false information and rumor about them, and expose their secret just because the husband attempts polygamy. This act, which is rampant among women today, should not be seen among women of this Jamaat. This act is a display of faithfulness, lack of love, compassion, and mercy for their dear husband. Women should remember and understand that to marry more than one wife in Islam is a Quranic grace and privilege granted by Allah to men who are capable of availing it, and which women have no right to oppose unless they have previously obtained promise of marrying only one wife, or where there is obvious inability on the part of the husband. Women should show love and mercy to fellow women who are without husband and who may lose their faith if this persists. They should wish for the single, needy ladies, the divorcee, and widows among them a happy matrimony too, even if it may require allowing their husband to marry them, and if the husband also wishes so. The promised Messiah, alayhi salam, has advised women that if their husband wish to marry again for a genuine reason, they should not protest. However, women are allowed to pray that Allah the Almighty never cause them to face such a difficulty in the first place. Men also have been advised that they should not marry again merely out of lustful desire, but purely based on taqwa. The promised Messiah, alayhi salam, further explained that women often see the concept of plurality of marriage in Islam in negative light and not have faith in this concept. However, they are unaware that Islam provides solution to all circumstances and problems. For example, if a wife was to go insane or is inflicted with a illness that renders her idle, and the husband cannot remain patient in celibacy, it will be unjust upon a man's faculty not to allow him to marry again. While God has kept his avenue open for men based on certain circumstances, God has also kept an avenue open for women that in compelling circumstances, she can seek hula through the relevant authority. That means divorce initiated by the wife. If, for example, the husband is rendered idle. Uzus Friday Sermon, March 3rd, 2017. In addition to the above, as that AMJN radiallahu anha advised Ahmadi women as regard attitude towards their husband, families, and loved ones. She said, consider his dear ones and their children as your own dear ones. Never think of harming anyone, even if they are doing wrong to you. You will have goodwill in your heart for all, and do not take any action in revenge against anyone. Then you will always behold God doing good to you. If co-wives, end of quote, if co-wives hold this advice of Hazrat AMJN close to their hearts, then polygamy will be more of mercy and blessing to our women and men than the present misfortune we have brought upon ourselves with this institution. Therefore, there is no circumstances that should warrant married couples tearing themselves apart. For Ahmadis, we should always remember that we are both Muslims, Ahmadis, neighbors, and couples upon whom Allah has enjoined showing of love and mercy. Let's remember the fourth condition of Bayat, which states thus, that under the impulse of any passion, he or she shall cause no harm whatsoever to the creation of Allah in general, and Muslims in particular, neither by his or her tongue, nor by his or her hands, nor by any other means. When true love exists, it becomes so difficult to neglect the right of others or punish them. And where mercy exists, it becomes easy to overlook shortcomings and weaknesses. Allah stated in the Holy Quran, they are a garment for you, and you are a garment for them. Quran 2 verse 188. This means that husband and wife have to cover up one another weaknesses and shortcomings from others, act and as an adornment and embellishment for one another, stick fast to each other through thick and thin, and at no time should they fall apart in adverse circumstances. Each should serve as a rock of support to the other. Both partners in blessed institution of matrimony should remember that Allah is watching over every single move and expression and hearing every single word, and it is all being recorded for a day when he will be the judge. Respected members, as I conclude this speech today, as the Caliphate Masih 5, has always wanted us all to reevaluate ourselves and our matrimony. We should ask whether or not the essence of a peaceful home, vis-a-vis companionship, spiritual development, bringing forth God's fearing progeny and moral growth exists. We should therefore show conscious and genuine act of true love in our matrimony and be merciful to our partners and give them support in the time of need. We should remember that our matrimony is half of our faith and in which we can't afford to fail. The essence of our existence in this world is to worship Allah and secure for ourselves the opportunity of paradise in the world to come. Our marriage and matrimony should not be an obstacle in achieving this. Therefore, love your spouse, show them mercy, maintain a crisis-free home, and let us together build a loving, religious family capable of winning souls into Islam and Jamaatul Ahmadiyya. I would like to end this humble submission with a prayer of Hazrat Caliphate Masih 5, Adallah Ta'ala bin Aziz. His Holiness, Adallah Ta'ala bin Aziz, prayed for us all at the end of Friday's sermon of March 3rd, 2017. That may Allah enable all members of the Jamaat, men and women, to solve their domestic problems in keeping with the teaching of Islam and to give priority to their faith over worldly matters. They should always put the fear of Allah in purview. May Allah remove the problems of the new relationship as well. A lot of problems are coming up as well. May Allah enable boys and girls to understand that marriage is not only for worldly purposes, not to fulfill the worldly desire, but to prioritizing faith over worldly matters, so that the future generation will be able to follow the right path and to give birth to righteous progeny, so that the future of generations can be saved and they become the servant of faith and they also become the inheritor of bounties of Allah. Ameen, summa ameen. May Allah make it easy for us to do so. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.